this meeting. Okay, so do I have to
You
call
will-
the meeting to order, or I can just say,
Yeah,
Yeah.
so you call the meeting to
Yeah.
order, and then you can ask for approval of the minutes as posted or any edits that folks might have to them.
okay, so I'd like to call the meeting to order. Do I need to get a second or anything like that, or am I good?
Nope.
Okay,
No.
okay, so I'm going to call for the approval of the minutes of the April meeting, and I'd like to know if anybody has any edits or anything that they'd like to add, or
None.
anything.
Nope.
Okay. So we're good, so we can say that we.
Yep.
I move we approve.
Just- You
Okay.
don't need a motion, but
You don't
can
even
just-
need, that's right.
Just say
I know,
that
say that
they're
again.
approved.
Okay.
You
so
don't
the
need a
April-
motion for minutes.
Yeah.
Just approve. They're approved if nobody complains.
All right, and we're going to say that the April 2022 meeting minutes are approved. And now do we get to do our quarterly programming?
Absolutely.
Okay, so
Thank
please.
you. Yes, so I will be your sole presenter today. Our library marketing director was feeling under the weather today, so I apologize in advance if I am not as up to speed as she is, but I think I've got most of the basics down. I'm going to share my screen, so give me just a moment to do that. Okay, so can everyone see these talking points?
Yes,
Excellent.
Yes.
Are they large enough for everyone?
yes.
Yes.
Okay, great. So we have, well, we can edit the size since we're virtual.
I
we
know, but
have,
that was along the, can you stand on your foot for 10 seconds? Can you read the screen?
Yes.
We're
Can you read
fine.
the screen? Excellent. I am glad everyone can read the screen, and I will enable editing so that if anyone would like to make edits along the way, I will track those and then I'll send them around and post them as well. So we have three main talking points, the first of which should come as no surprise to you all. It is our summer reading adventure time. The summer reading program runs through August 12th. So for folks who are watching or for trustees, you've still got about 6 weeks to sign up and participate. The summer reading program is open to all ages. Many times we have folks who think it's just for children, which it predominantly is. That is the majority of our participants. But we have some really wonderful programs and events for young adults and for adults as well. The way that we run the summer reading program, or the summer reading adventure, as we have logoed it, is that we ask people to read a specific number of minutes or a specific number of books and to track that as they go along. As you meet different milestones, you're eligible for different prizes. And at the end, you get a coupon. It used to be a coupon book. I think it's like a perforated sheet this year with special things for different age ranges. Since this is a meeting for adults, I'll talk a little bit about the prizes for adults, which include things like tickets to events at the Alden, Wolf Trap. There's a couple of free food and drink options in there. And it's really fun, particularly for folks who are already geared up and want to read. This is just a good way to participate with a community of like-minded folks and to get some prizes for things you were already going to do. Because this is a document that we link to online as well, we've included hyperlinks for the events that we have for children, preschoolers, teens, and adults. And I'll highlight one specific event that is coming up on, I believe, July 29th at 7 p.m. at the Alden. And it is the history of the African American spiritual, where Calvin Earl will be performing music in the Alden Theater next to the Dolly Madison Library. That is our cornerstone event for the adult summer reading program this year. And we have had Calvin Earl before come out and perform for us. He is amazing. If you haven't had a chance to see him yet, we highly recommend it. And the Alden holds 350 or 400 people. So it'll be hopefully a pretty good turnout for that one. One of the great things about the summer reading program is that it is a partnership with other county agencies as well. So for the preschool and school age prize sheet, there's also free passes to different park authority sites and programs like the water mine swimming hole, and a couple of other free programming and events that they do over the summer for kiddos. So those are the basics of the summer reading adventure. Does anyone have anything that they would like me to add, edit, or include? Or any questions about it? No. I think most folks are pretty well, aware of the summer reading program. It's one of our big things we've been doing for decades now, but we like to ensure that it's in here because it is a cornerstone of some of our summer events and programs.
Actually, let me ask one quick question on the links. Maybe you said this when you were talking about it being hyperlinked. do they lead to the Beanstalk app, or they lead to the directions to do it and to download the app? As I
So
recall
let's
from
see if
last
I can get it to
meeting.
go there correctly right now. Go. No, of course not. It's not gonna work right now. This link should take you to the site where you can sign up for a Beanstack application.
Okay.
I'm not gonna do that. There we go. So the link on the page takes you here. So this is the library's homepage for the summer reading program. So you can see it's got the little video with the introduction. We've got a question guide for using Beanstack if you're trying to register yourself or a whole family. We have some videos that we created because it's a new application for folks, and many people are used to the paper application where you track things. But if you are an adult, and there it is, if you are an adult and you want to participate, you can hop on this site. You can register at fairfaxcounty.beanstack.org, and we've got the tutorials that are available if you wanted to watch those or having any difficulty with it. We've also got, you can see Renee's wonderful face over here on the left side of the page. She is our Director of Programming and Educational Services, and she runs all of our summer reading programs and events. So we try to make sure we have a person available at the library that you can connect with as well. And many of you know Renee. She's amazing.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
I had one
Shan.
question.
absolutely.
Why is it ending so early? Why August 12th? In case people ask.
We try and align with FCPS's summer break. So we started the summer reading program, I think the Friday that school ended, and it runs through the last full week of summer vacation.
Oh gosh, so school's starting really early this year?
I believe it starts on the 15th.
Wow, okay.
August, wow.
That's-
I am pretty close to certain on that. I might be a day or so off, but it's, yeah, mid-August. Maybe August 22nd. We might be a week off on that,
Okay.
but it's middle August. Yeah. I will double check for you. But in general, we try and align with FCPS's summer schedule, since kiddos are out, and that is our predominant audience for this program. Excuse me. Our second topic for your summer talking points are our Connect and Conserve kits. You all had a demonstration of the Conserve kits at your last board meeting. Those were the lovely heavy tote bags that had all of the home items that you could use to check energy efficiency, that included like the little laser pointer gun thing, so you could make sure that your thermostat was correctly reading and that you were getting the HVAC working optimally. It included the weather stripping, gasket plugs if you have leaks coming out from behind your light switches, and a number of other things like kilowatt meter. So those ones you've got a pretty good idea about, but this puts it all in one place so you can share it with your elected officials and community members. And we also included the fact that those Conserve kits are just starting off at 5 locations. They're at Chantilly, George, Pohick, Reston, and Sherwood. We bought somewhere in the vicinity of 20 or 25 of these kits to start in order to see what type of utilization and hold lists are generated off of it. And we want to make sure that we can kind of pool those in one spot instead of just sending them hither and yonder to start with. One thing that we didn't have a chance to introduce to you all yet were our Connect kits. The Connect kits are the updated versions of our take-home laptops. So throughout the pandemic, we have offered Chromebooks that people can check out for use. They can either use it in the library, or more recently, they've been able to take it home for several weeks. This is meant for people who don't have a home computer, maybe only have a phone, but need to do some extended work and don't have the capacity or the ability to have one that they purchase themselves. However, we also received some emergency connectivity fund dollars from the last round of federal funding that have gone towards buying more Chromebooks and accompanying Wi-Fi hotspots. So now, instead of just offering a laptop that someone can take home and use, we're also offering them the internet connection so that they can reasonably use it without having to park in like a weird parking lot because they might not have Wi-Fi at home that they can connect to. Right now, our fleet of these Connect kits is somewhere in the low 20s. The emergency connectivity fund dollars that we've received will allow us to increase that to about 70. And we are anticipating pretty high usage of that. The locations that these live at right now are listed on the screen, but just in case someone is just listening, Centerville, City of Fairfax, George Mason, Reston, and Sherwood regional libraries. And those locations were chosen specifically because they're areas where we know that community members don't have as high of a uptake on personal home devices that aren't cell phones. These laptops can be used for anything, but they're really meant for folks who are doing workforce development, trying to find jobs, trying to educate themselves, and need those devices for more time than they can get just coming into the library and using our computers for the time we have available during open hours. Some of the questions that we've gotten about these Connect kits is about the capacity of the Wi-Fi units. There is a limited capacity on them, so we really don't recommend that people try and, I don't know, like download 2 movies at the same time that they are trying to write a job application online, because the wireless capacity for them does get throttled after a certain point in time. So if you check them out for 2 weeks and you take them home and you spend the first week, you know, downloading every season of a TV show that you want to watch, that's fine. You can totally use it for that. But it does mean that you're going to have less connectivity the further into your time period you get, because it's an allotment for the course of the time that you have it at home. We have also had questions about what happens if these don't come back. The devices are under a management system. So if I took one home and my due date came and I didn't bring it back, the library has the capacity to brick them, which means that we can turn off the wireless capacity, and we can make it so that when folks try and log in to the Chromebook to do anything with it, it just won't go anywhere. It'll just have a little home screen that doesn't let you log in and access anything. So we understand that people get busy and that it can sometimes be hard to remember the due dates for things, but we do want to make sure that these are widely available for people. So we've been pretty firm about the fact that the day after the deadline for when they need to come back, we turn off the Wi-Fi and we brick the Chromebooks so that they can be returned and reutilized by other community members. As this continues on, we anticipate them continuing to be popular at some very specific locations, and we will look to add more to the fleet that we have, but this is where we are starting with the Connect kits. Any questions about either the Conserve kits or the Connect kits, or anything you would like me to add? We don't have information in here about the timeline or the wireless capacity. I can certainly add those if you'd like. Sujatha.
Can you tell me what the wait list, like, so if you take one out, you use it, you have your 2 weeks or whatever, and then you take it back. Like, is there a limit on the number of times you can be on a wait list, or do you just get to, just like books, you get to put yourself back in the queue?
Correct.
As frequently.
Yeah, you can use it as many times as you'd like. Similar to a book, we want to make sure that it is able to recirculate for other people who might have interest in it. So you can't keep it indefinitely, but you can check it out, bring it back, pick up a new one if there's no wait list, or put yourself on hold if you have a need to use it again.
And regarding upkeep, maintenance of these devices, I'm assuming the grant for the money that came in to allow for the purchase of them, we used some of that for whatever, for, you know, for like being able to maintain them. I mean, I'm just thinking, like, computers break, you know what I mean? Like when you buy a child a computer, you have the money to do so, you buy it with the protection. So I'm just just curious about that.
That's a great question. So the grant funding that we've received does not pay for staff time. So maintenance, upkeep, purchase of these, that's all on current library staff within our current budget. However, we do always keep additional copies behind for backups so that when we need to replace pieces or parts, we have those available. Like the Conserve kits are a great one to use as an example. We keep 2 of those behind in technical operations so that we can swap out pieces if they get broken. With the Connect kits, because it's really just the Chromebook, the MiFi unit, the charging cable, and the soft case that it comes with, it's not as many pieces. And Chromebooks are fascinating, and they've worked out really nicely for these circulating laptop programs, because the way that I've had them described to me is that it's like the internet is just wrapped with a piece of hardware. There's not a lot of software that goes into a Chromebook. It's not like you can have Microsoft Office downloaded on a Chromebook. It doesn't have those types of applications. So there's not as much that staff have to do to wipe the device when it comes back that we would have to do if it had been like a real heavy duty laptop that they have been checking out. We have
Mhm.
certainly seen some damage to some of the devices we have already been circulating, cracked screens, missing power plugs. The connection between the power plug and the device has been kind of jiggled funnily, so that one doesn't work as well. And in some ways we're able to fix them, and in some we just have to say that it has done its due service and can move on to the next phase of its laptop life. So for those ones, we just replace them and move on.
And maintenance of it
yeah.
is done by our tech staff.
Mhm.
Like our IT staff does the repairs on these things if they can.
Light stuff, like our staff can't repair a cracked screen. We can coordinate with the vendor to get a replacement
Okay.
screen or to send it away for maintenance and then have it come back. Our staff does light maintenance work, but nothing of that level.
But it hasn't been like it hasn't been crazy amounts of damage. This tends to be going in and out fairly
So
uneventful.
far, so good. We have had
That's
about
great.
the expected amount of damage.
That's great. That's great
Yes.
to know.
Yeah.
Being-
We always expected the most highly damaged technological item in the library are AWE computers, AWE computers, which are the computers in the kids section that solely have games on them. And it is most frequently the screens because children get very excited and then things happen. So, it's part of the deal. We plan for it and we work around it. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, we're very excited. This is the Emergency Connectivity Fund grant that we got for this is going to be well used. And we think that the increased fleet is going to be pretty heavily occupied for a while.
Really a wonderful thing for the community, honestly. That's great.
Yeah, the MiFi units are great. Most of you, I think, are probably aware that our colleagues at the schools at FCPS provide MiFi units to students. And those MiFi units can be used for up to 5 household devices to connect to. So family members that have children in FCPS may already have some of this covered. But there are lots of community members that don't have children in the school system. So we want to make sure that they've got a viable option as well for both devices and connectivity if they cannot or choose not to pay for either a device or Wi-Fi access. Any other questions or anything anyone wants me to add to this one? Okay. So our third topic is our big author event for the end of summer. Casey McQuiston, excuse me, I always want to add an N right in the middle, and that is not their name. Their name is Casey McQuiston, is a romance author. And we have not had a ton of romance authors lately, so this is a particularly exciting one to put out there. She has 2 really popular books that have come out, one about 2 or 3 years ago now, and one that just came out this year. So Red, White, and Royal Blue came out like 2019 or 2020, and then One Last Stop came out just this year. Her books, I can tell you, I have personally read both of them, so I will be at this event fangirling a little bit. So she writes romance books that are LGBT focused. So Red, White, and Royal Blue is about it's the son of the President of the United States and the son of the Queen of England, and they fall in love and they cross political boundaries and they bring both worlds together. It's lovely. And One Last Stop is kind of a time warp lesbian romance. It's about a woman who is on a train line in New York City, and she meets this other woman on the train. Maybe they're a ghost. We don't know. You'll have to read it. So we're very excited about this author. She's very, very popular. So we think this one will be pretty sold out as well. Registration opens on July 20th. I think that's all I had on that one as well. Yeah. So those are your summer talking points. Is there anything anyone would like me to add to them before distribution, or any edits you'd like me to make?
That's good.
Excellent. Okay, we'll stop sharing my screen. There we go. So summer talking points, check. We will get those out for everyone to read. The other item on your agenda is a staff request. So this is also annual report season. The fiscal year ends today, and library marketing staff are hard at work already on drafting your fiscal year 2022 annual report. Because this committee traditionally only meets quarterly. Your next monthly meeting likely wouldn't be until September, which is a little far out. So we're hoping that the committee would be willing to meet off cycle, specifically to review the annual report, sometimes towards the end of August. Staff will be sending out a couple of date options, likely the last week in August, but I just wanted to put that on your radar, that there will be a special off-cycle meeting just to look at the annual report. I'm very sorry that Erin's out sick today because she gave me a heads up on this, and she said that this year's annual report is shaping up to be more amazing than ever. But really the nice part is, the last two annual reports have been really heavily pandemic focused, that's the world that we've all lived in. So we haven't had as much to talk about around new programs or author events or services. And this year, because we've been open for a full year, even with pandemic mitigations in place, we have so much more to talk about. It's she called it robust. So I hope that the product that you all see is going to be as lovely as it always is, and you'll have a lot of things to talk about with it.
And Jessica, you had asked me to give you some dates, and I did. Now I don't have that email up right now, but if you wanted to put a date on I know we're missing 3 people. Maybe we should just do this by email. I can just email you back. My daughter did say, I got it straight, which any of those days really would be fine with me. I don't have anything on them, but I'll email you.
All
I
good.
apologize.
No, it's fine. We've got 2 months until then, so there's plenty of time to get it on the calendar. Typically, the timeline for this committee is that this group reviews the annual report draft sometime towards the end of August or really, really early September, so that the full board can get a draft copy for their September board meeting. It can be approved with any modifications, and then at your October meeting, you'll get your final print copies. That's all I got for you today. Outreach committee. I know.
Anybody have anything else they want to make sure that we talk about?
Sujatha, it looks like you have a member of the public with their hand up. I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm very sorry.
I say Fran. Do we have a member of the public?
Gloria.
Ms. Engstrom?
Yes. Hi.
Oh,
So
hi.
I'm glad I got to come today. I'm doing the summer reading challenge for adults. And one of the things on there was to attend a library event virtually or in person. And so I live near the Oakton Library, and I didn't see that they had any in-person events going on. And then I saw this was happening today, so I thought I would just pop in if it appeared that it was okay to come, even though I'm not part of your committee.
Welcome, Gloria.
So I'm happy to be here. And also, I just wanted to let you know, I am a substitute teacher in Fairfax County Public Schools, and I'm a retired teacher. And so now I'm enjoying being a substitute teacher. And the kids actually come back on the 23rd
Excellent.
or 22nd rather of August. So if you have a calendar that looks like this, you might think, oh, it starts earlier. But if you look at the small letters and codes, that's when first it's when new teachers need to come. And then the rest of it is when current teachers need to come back for meetings and planning, etc. But the kids actually start on the 22nd.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you very
And I
much.
promise Gloria is not a plant in the audience just to talk up the summer reading program, but it's amazing that you are here and you tied in so
good.
nicely to the talking points.
Yeah.
Thank
I'm
you.
happy I could come. I mean, it's kind of like I'm getting back to life after COVID, because during COVID, I don't know if there was a summer reading event. I missed it, but ordinarily I do sign up for the summer adult reading events, and I enjoy doing it. And it's always fun to, get, I always read a lot anyway. And but it's fun just to kind of have some focus on what I'm supposed to read for the summer. Also, learning some new skills and techniques from things that are on the sheet, and just some fun things too, like doing a word find. I'm used to having kids
So
do word
delightful.
finds, so it's like, when was the last time I did a word find? So I did one.
Aw. Well, thank you
Anyway,
so much.
thank
That's
you very
amazing.
much.
Yeah.
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 She followed
Really nice.
instructions, Teresa.
Mhm. And I saw Fran's hand up as well, Sujatha.
Yeah, I just wanted to say how much I like the new emails that come out. There's a separate one that says, no, you can't renew the, I mean, it doesn't say it like that, but they're separated. So like, here are the ones you can renew, and here are the
Yes.
ones you need to bring back. It's terrific. Great
I
job.
will pass along your thanks and your notes. I can share with this committee, because you all do marketing on behalf of the library as well, that has been a multi-year challenge for us. We were
Wow.
finally able to get a contract in place for MessageBee, which is a mail distribution service that was a challenge to get there. But now we can do things like, when you get an email, it doesn't say, here are the things that renewed and here are the things that didn't renew. And here are the things that might renew later. Now you
Yeah.
actually get separate emails, and they're
Yeah.
different colors,
Yeah.
color coded, so that you
Right.
can say like, these ones did renew. That's great. This other
was-
email, stuff that didn't renew, not great. I should look at that email. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, Fran. Our library IT folks are thrilled.
And
Yeah,
do you
it's
think we should
terrific.
mention this in our talking points?
I certainly can if you'd like.
Yeah, why don't we mention that there's a new format for, in case people haven't noticed, but maybe the reasoning behind it, or that it's the culmination of years of
Of a
activity.
lot of work. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
that's a good, yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
add a little asterisk at the bottom. I will get
Okay.
some concise and clear language from marketing IT to include and send around.
Perfect, perfect.
Oh, good. So someone somewhere is going to be like, yes, it was noticed. It did what it
We
was supposed
noticed
to do.
it. We loved
I noticed
it.
right away,
Well, you
yeah.
know,
I- 'cause
Fran
and I thought
noticed,
of-
so that's so
And I thought
great.
I thought of Suzanne, because I think Suzanne and I both are like, oh, oh, I'm gonna say the old lady. We're confused about this. What does
No,
it
it was
mean?"
a-
no,
it-
not that, not that.
It was
not
a
that.
very frequent constituent comment that we received. Yes, you are
Excellent,
not
excellent.
alone, I promise.
So I
Okay,
have
will add that.
I have something funny to share, and I don't want to take up too much time, but Mr. Millhauser is in Iceland on a photography trip to take pictures of birds and stuff. And okay, parenthetically, when we talked about it and I said I didn't want to go, I really didn't think he would go by himself, and he did. So there you go.
I
Okay.
keep missing chance to take pictures of birds.
I know. Anyway, so he got a little handout about the trip with the information that the Icelandic language is most like 13th century Norse. So if you know anyone who speaks 13th century Norse, they're in good shape. And the funniest example they gave of, some languages will not import new words like computer or modern words. They'll repurpose a word from their in this case from their 13th century Norse. And so the Icelandic word for computer is a word that means number prophetess, which, and it's Tolva, T-O umlaut LVA. And I just love the fact that there's a word that means number prophetess. I've shared that with almost everybody because I'm just knocked out by it, and maybe it's not that big.
I think that's brilliant and fantastic. That's
You
I
are
honestly
the
think-
best chair we've ever had here.
I think it's brilliant and fantastic because, I don't know, did you know that I am I study language and linguistics, right? So that's what I like to study foreign language. As those of you who followed along in my quest for an Italian book might remember. But so I'm always thinking about language and stuff. But that is something I did not know, that there were just languages that sort of as a rule of, because, most languages have a rule of their language, right? Like these are the rules of our language.
Yeah.
And that's pretty fascinating to think that there are some who that's part of their ethos, is they're going to find a word, right? And make it. That's fabulous. That's
And
fabulous.
that's such a
because
great
almost
example.
Every language is a computer. It's the best example. Number prophetess.
And that was Tolva, T umlaut O LVA.
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm not sure how you pronounce, I forget the pronunciation of the O umlaut. I remembered it from German, but so maybe it's, I don't know.
I'm going to send it to my Icelandic Facebook friend.
All right.
That's just absolutely fantastic.
I found while you all were discussing, I found a little Reddit thread about it. I will share afterwards. It is from 2 Icelandic words, one that means lady prophetess and one that means the word number.
Oh.
It's amazing. Fran, you have sent us all on our quest for the holidays. Fun words.
That's just a fabulous thing to know. Honestly, a fabulous thing to know. I would never have known.
No.
Isn't that wonderful? That's
So
just
then,
wonderful.
we watched The Northman, which I had been thinking about watching it because it's supposedly, it has like Hamlet stuff going on with the uncle and the murders and all that stuff. And it's so violent, but I think some of it may have been filmed in Iceland, so we wanted to see it before we went. And we were both just yelling while the movie was on, and we said we could never have seen this movie in a theater because it just makes you like, oh no, oh, how could they do that? Oh.
I'm imagining the Millhousers watching this.
We're both yelling and screaming.
Oh my God. Fran, I cannot believe you said no, that you didn't want to go.
Well, I like to go to the tropical countries and look at birds. I don't want to go. I went to the Patagonia.
Never say, although you know what? My husband went to Jordan on a trip in the summertime when my son was studying in Jordan. And I said no, because I'm thinking it's too hard for me. So I guess it's the same thing. You should, I was about to tell you never turn down a trip, but I in fact did exactly that.
Yeah.
I turned it
There you go.
down.
This is the best time
Oh
of
my God,
year.
here we are. We're just talking and talking.
I'm sorry.
like
I was
to
gonna
Probably
say,
the
I
best
think we're all wrapped on your agenda items if you want to adjourn the meeting.
It's probably the best time of year to go
Allow
to
me to
Iceland.
recap
by
my
the way.
water
Yeah, you're right,
and
Brian.
allow me
Yeah.
to compliment, before I do that, to compliment Brian Engler on his magnificent face.
Yeah,
Getting there,
very
getting there.
excellent.
And on that note, I would love to adjourn this meeting of the
Okay.
outreach.
Happy 4th of July weekend, everybody.
Lovely to
All
see
right.
you.